Alrighty, Friday, May 24th. Taking a look at ES here for a session recap. Now, we came into the session following what was an expansion day. Yesterday, we had that expansion move. Price failed. Daily time frame breakout up through here during the morning, and we see that near-term range trigger the breakdown. Now, interestingly enough, on that session, like we had talked about this morning as well as during yesterday's session recap, is that daily gap right through here from May 15th was then filled. So what we want to see on a session like today is essentially, can buyers defend the low? You can see that the near-term volume point of control for yesterday's session migrates down into that 52.85, which is also a downside level of interest. So it makes it pretty easy for a session like today. Can this area be defended as support? And what we see this morning is essentially, looking at the 30-minute chart here, price trades up during the overnight session. During that pre-market session, you have the open last night. Now, on a day like today, the Fibonacci retracements are going to be incredibly useful. So you could see that price trades up overnight, test that 23% retracement. We get a retest down into 52.85. Okay, normal pullback. Remember, that's yesterday's volume point of control. Triggers a bounce there. Again, all overnight. And then back into that 53.05 for the regular trading hours open. And this is actually, for us, the perfect spot for price to be opening, because it is the primary pivot for this near-term structure. Remember that 52.05 is that near-term area of support. You can see the support right through here. So coming into a session like today, it makes it very easy for us, because we can say, all right, well, what is the reaction going to be versus that 53.05? And that'll kind of guide our approach for today's session. So we could see that price initially. Let me get back into the intraday action here. You can see that price initially struggles with that 53.05, right? Struggling to really break above 53.05. Obviously, some sellers sitting there. You get the pullback. Price, again, retests that Fibonacci level. You also have some pre-market structure there. Interestingly enough, this is right into 10 a.m. reversal time. So price is sitting on session lows into 10 a.m. reversal time. You get the news, trades up into that 53.05, marks a fresh session high. And then at that point, like I had mentioned in the think tank via voice note, we want to see, can buyers show acceptance above that 53.05? That's exactly what this pattern builds out right through here. Acceptance above 53.05. Price trades higher. You get the retest that then holds. And now price is back within this near-term range, right? So you get the break above, retest of, let me switch to the 15-minute. The break above 53.05, there's your retest, and then buyers step in again to defend that key area of support. From there, it's pretty much a rally into our next upside levels of interest, which is 53.20 and then 53.33, which also happens to be the confluence of the near-term range volume point of control, that yellow line that you can see right through there on the chart, and then also the 61% retracement of yesterday's move. So as far as what we'll be looking at for Tuesday, because remember, market is closed on Monday for Memorial Day, essentially just want to see very similar approach to today. Can this area of support continue to hold? Now, even with yesterday's action, I am still considering this range trading. Not unusual to see a bit of range expansion, right? You'll see that commonly with near-term ranges. We get a bit of expansion, but price just continues to trade within the range. So no sustained action outside of the near-term range. We continue to trade it as a range. And as always, the best opportunities will be near the end points of the range. So 53.05 can be that main watch come Tuesday morning. Buyers looking to continue to defend this area of support and potentially push prices back up through that near-term range volume point of control, back up through the 61% retracement and that 53.33 level of interest. So overall, some pretty clean action today. Price continues to respect the structure as it always does. If you aren't paying attention to near-term structure, what are you doing? Pay attention to those 15 and 30-minute charts. They can make a big difference in your understanding of not only the bias in the near term, but also can improve your hit rate, can improve your understanding of how price unfolds. So that's ES. Let's jump over to NQ. NQ also looking really nice today. So yesterday, we see that price closes, or at least right ahead of the close, test that key area of support, right? Take a look at the chart here. Pretty plainly on the 30-minute chart, we could see that there's buying activity all through here. We know that 18,630 is a downside level of interest. Key area of support right through here. Again, like I had mentioned yesterday during the session recap, we want to see our buyers going to be defending this low. And so not unusual to see a gap up on a day like today. We had fully expected that inside day. That's going to be normal anytime you have kind of an expansion type of day. You want to be expecting a little bit of a slower day, most likely an inside day. And again, today was that inside day, but more importantly, yesterday, again, into the close, we have price testing support, right? Support is not broken on NQ. It did break in ES, but we're poised to open regular trading hours right near that downside pivot. NQ never broke support, at least for this near-term structure. And so very tough to be bearish coming into this session, given not only the current near-term structure, but also the prior action. If you take a look at the daily chart, right? I mean, look at what we're dealing with here. Massive range higher, massive trend higher, excuse me. And so we come into the sesh wanting to see pretty simply, how is price going to respond versus this 750 near-term range volume point of control. Remember those, when you have a structure that is at least a few days in length, like this current structure is, that volume point of control is going to be a solid reference point, a solid level of interest to be watching price against. And we see that there is some oscillation there in the morning. Take a look here, get into the intraday, but largely price is defending that 750. See buyers defending that area, that 18,750 area, that near-term range volume point of control. And you have VWAP directly below, and then some pre-market structure as well. So some phenomenal long opportunities early in the session, and then that really nice NQ Wyckoff spring plus VWAP plus level of interest long setup. This is going to be one of the easier money plays of the session that just sets up into a really nice trend higher. So a little bit of a recap of today's action. And then as always, I like to throw the fib there on that expansion day and take a look. It gives us some really strong reference points. Price up and through that 38% fib, up and through the 50, like nothing, up and through the 61 into that 930 upside level of interest. Also happens to be that 78% fib. And take a look at your prior day structure right through there as well, right? So we know there's some sellers up here. That's where price kind of takes a breather. So overall, some really good action today. Textbook technical action if you are paying attention to structure and not just trading some aggressive bias, right? We just want to focus how is price trading within the near-term structure, and then this is like your map. Use this as your map, kind of get your bearings from a chart like this. And that'll be your guide for the session. That's pretty much what we do every single day. So as far as Tuesday, I mean, price is just back within the prior range here, right? So what I'll be looking at Tuesday primarily is this upside level of interest here. Now we could lean on 850 as a potential area of interest, a level of interest on Tuesday, but really want to see if buyers can show a break of that upside 930 level of interest and then a retest of the prior all-time high. So good action today. The trend continues higher in NQ, right? No real change of character here in NQ. Let's take a look just for fun at the hourly. So looking at kind of major higher low points. Now a case could be made that there was a change in character once price broke this. But again, no real sustained action below there, right? Probably this one's going to be more significant right through here. Now we have another higher low to work with. So buyers remain in control of the tape. Pretty much has been the theme for weeks and weeks now. Remember, for the index to really turn over, it's not like generally speaking, it's not like a 1 or 2 day thing, right? The index is like think of like a big tanker ship. It takes a long time to turn around. It takes a long time to roll over. So if you came into a session like today overly bearish, or even, overly hesitant with the longs, you're afraid of the longs based on what we saw yesterday, that may mean that you don't have a firm understanding of support, right? Near-term structure, things like that. So review this chart because all your clues are right through here. If you guys have any questions about that, feel free to shoot me a DM in the Traders Think Tank. Have a great weekend. Happy Memorial Day, and I will see you Tuesday.